Hey there everybody, welcome back to Dweeb Factory. Got a special treat for you today, and before I actually get started, I just wanted to point out over here, I got my Turbo Kid poster all framed. It was an amazing event. I'm really disappointed that I couldn't be there myself, but the movie's incredible. If you haven't had a chance, Turbo Kid, check it out. Thank you so much, Epic Pictures, for bringing it here to Dallas. We really appreciate that for bringing that here to our hometown. But for today, what I have going on is the unboxing of the Taken King Collector's Edition PS4. Man, I'm a huge Destiny fan, as you guys know. It's probably one of the only things I keep talking about on the channel. But I've been super excited for this new expansion to come out. It's incredible so far. I got my hands on it already. Due to some mix-ups at GameStop, which I won't really go into detail about, I didn't get my Collector's Edition right off the bat. So yeah, this unboxing video is coming a little late, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be awesome. Check that out, got the Collector's Edition PS4, so let's get right into it. Alright. First things first, got the hard case and the physical copy with your Legendary Edition in here. You got some codes, 30-day trial for PlayStation Plus if you don't already have it like I do. Real nice steel case, very cool, very cool. But I've already actually gotten into the game and I'm loving it so far. Let's see what else we got in here. Nice box, some good graphics on there on the front and the back. Got that hard steel case. And let's just jump into the meat and potatoes of this actual Collector's Edition. We got the Treasure Island lore book, the Insula Thesauraria, however you say that. And wow, this is actually a really nice hardback. Got some cool notes in here. Looks like somebody's journal. The Treasure Island, as you can see there, is really what this focuses on, which isn't really a physical place in the game. It's more of like lore and some tips and some tricks and some cheats that can kind of get you some shaders and some other just some cosmetic stuff in game. Obviously, they're not going to give anybody who got the Collector's Edition a huge boost over anyone else. So this is a really nice hardback. So like the first half of it is actual notes and kind of just some lore, but then you come back here and you get your pack. Oh, nice. Right out of the gate, we get our Strange Coin replica. It's got some stickers on there, so I'll go ahead and take those off. Give me just a sec. Ah, there we go. There's a clear film on there. It's not just the white sticker. That's kind of cool. It's actually on both sides. Let's go ahead and get that off. Awesome. And just so you get a good look, got the replica Strange Coin there. Too bad Zer's not here to take my Strange Coins, or I'd be trading it in for a new exotic, or maybe some heavy ammo synthesis for my Gallarhorn that is now almost extinct, but we'll get into that later. I have a lot of new stuff to say about this new expansion, and some of the things that they said they were going to change but haven't really been that impacting so far. We do get a nice view at one of the new exotics, aka the Sleeper Simulant, which is rumored to be the Gallarhorn replacement, but we'll see if that remains to be true. This is a really nice poster though, and on the back here we even have what looks to be a map. You get some latitude and longitude, and you got your coordinates here, and there's letters just kind of scattered around. I'm wondering if you're going to get some coordinates throughout that book, and you're going to be able to kind of find where the letters match up to the coordinates, and maybe there's a code in there, who knows. Let's dig a little bit deeper here. We got our nice little package here. It looks like a Cryptarch package, if I remember all my icons correctly. Got a lot of stuff in here, so I don't want to miss anything for you guys. Yeah, that's about it. And looks like right off the bat we have a nice little sketch. Looks to be Saturn, the rings. which we know is kind of a new place. You don't actually get to land on the surface of Saturn so far as I've seen throughout the story, but you do visit the rings of Saturn where the Dreadnought is pretty much parked at the moment. What else do we got here in our little Cryptarch package? We have a nice little note from Cayde Six, the Hunter Vanguard Master, also known as Nathan Fillion, if any Firefly or Castle fans are out there. And I'll be digging through this later on just to see if there's any little hidden Easter eggs or any hints towards the code there. We know that Cayde kind of has this little Ace of Spades symbol that he likes to put on everything, so that's a nice little touch there on the back. It's kind of like his calling card. And I'll dig more into that later. If I find anything relevant in the book, I'll be sure to share some of what I found. Nice, real heavy-duty patch for the Tex Machina Foundry. Now we know that there's like actual gun foundries in the game, kind of similar to Borderlands and how they have like the Jacobs and the Hyperion and all their foundries too. So there's kind of a similar mechanic there where you have your gun foundries like Suros, like Haka, and now Tex Mechanica is one of the ones that they didn't really advertise too much, but we know that they made the last word, and there's supposed to be some sniper rifles that are coming out, so I'm looking forward to that. Jacobs was always really one of my favorite of the Borderlands weapon companies, and now that the foundries are in Destiny, I really like Last Word in PvP, so maybe they're going to come out with a really fast-shooting sniper rifle. That'd be really awesome. We got our little Earth sticker, and that actually looks really nice. I'm probably going to put that on my laptop later. And then we get some playing cards here. What do we have here, though? We have a queen and a jack, no king. And I'm guessing that's because Oryx would technically be the king, the Taken King, which is the name of this DLC. So it's interesting that we get the jack and the queen, but not the king. There may even be some clues on the cards, even though nothing really jumps out at me right now. But these are some nice little collectibles if you take a quick look. So nothing too earth-shatteringly, nothing that really changes the game per se. Anything that gives you a clear-cut advantage over anyone who didn't buy the physical collector's edition. Oh, well, here we go. This might actually be something to start with. Right under where that strange coin is, got our first set of coordinates for that map, I guess. So let's start looking into that a little bit later on. But yeah, that's mainly everything that comes with the collector's edition. You got your book, you got your map to get started there, the nice steel case for everyone who didn't get a good look. There's a nice look at the front and back of it. Can't wait to get back into the game. But before I do, I just wanted to share some initial thoughts on this new DLC. So far, the story missions, the quests, the cinematics, everything is 100% better for Destiny. For those of you who are just jumping in, I'm interested to see like what the real first experience is for you guys, because we've gotten a lot of the new cinematics kind of just thrown in throughout the story, but I kind of want to go just from 1 to 40 and see what that new experience is. I may even be creating or recreating a character just so I can run through that. But as far as the changes to the leveling system go, that's kind of where I'm a little confused. Again, I've only played the game for about 20 hours after the DLC launched. I have all 3 of my characters at level 40 because I've been using the Red Bull codes just to get that increased experience. I already got my guys past 200 light ratings, so I've been trying some of the higher level stuff, but man, we went through one of those weekly heroic strikes yesterday, and that was tough. I'm not even joking here, guys. It was a new version of the Dust Palace, and that one was a PS4 exclusive before. Now it should be available for the Xbox community as well. But Dust Palace used to be one of my favorite strikes. At the end, you get 3 separate Scions, and they all have individual shields. There's 1 Solar, 1 Void, and 1 Arc. And man, they jacked up the difficulty on those weekly heroics. Haven't even touched the Nightfall yet because you have to have 280 light to get in there, and my highest right now is 249. So depending on the gear drops that I get here in the next week or so, I may have some Nightfall footage up or not. that remains to be seen. But as far as the difficulty rating, they've definitely ratcheted that up. But as far as the leveling system goes, I started at 34, and on my first character, I had a bunch of bounties saved up so that I could just toss that experience straight towards my new subclass. And man, I was really hoping that the level 40 mechanic was going to bring a lot of new content to this game, and not necessarily more of a grind, but just more of trying to reach that level cap and more chasing the level cap as opposed to just chasing gear. And I've already gotten to 40 on all 3 characters in less than 24 hours. Again, level really isn't relevant. You don't get locked out of in-game content because you're not a level 40 yet. You get locked out of in-game content like weeklies, nightfalls, because of your gear rating. One thing they were trying to address is the fact that people were getting locked out of raids and nightfalls and all that other jazz because they didn't have the right gear. And this new leveling system was supposed to kind of alleviate some of those concerns. Honestly, just my first impression is that it's worse. I'm not sure if we're just going to be able to just get a lot better drops. I've seen a slight increase in legendary engram drops just from the weeklies. Like I said, I've only done the 1 weekly so far, and that was the Dust Palace. But right when we killed that 3rd Scion, I got 2 blue engrams and 2 purple legendary engrams to drop. So it looks like those weeklies are really going to be where you're getting a lot of your legendary gear from. Just so far, though, my first impression of the new system is that it hasn't really alleviated any concerns. It's almost made the light restriction worse to a point. And again, I'm gonna hold off some reservations here. I'm gonna reserve judgment until I really get a couple of weeks in and get a better feel for the system. But just first impression right off the bat, Bungie, like your main issue before was that people were getting locked out of like the hard Atheon raid because they couldn't get the boots or something to get them to 29 so they could jump in there on that 30, not have so much damage reduction. But so far, like the higher level missions, the higher level strikes, the higher level like Nightfall, it's all restricted by gear. And now it's not even based off of your 4 armor pieces. It's based off of your class item. It's based off of your artifact. Those are really hard to find. I've only found about 2 or 3 different artifacts for each character, whereas I've been getting a bunch of armor and weapons. But now it's like instead of the 4 armor pieces determining your light level, everything that you have rolls into your light level. So say I have awesome gear in all of my equipment slots except I don't have a good ghost and I don't have a good secondary weapon. That's the issue that I'm facing right now on my hunter, where I was lucky enough to get some purple drops. I got some 240, 250 gear on my hunter for armor, and normally that would bring you up to the level where you need to do the Nightfall and stuff like that. But a lot of my other slots where I haven't been lucky with, I have blue items in my secondary. I have either a 230 shotgun or a 250 sniper rifle, and I really don't like that sniper. It only has 4 shots in the mag. I mean, we can go on and on about just nitpicky stuff like this, but as far as first impressions go, the system hasn't really changed. It's still very gear centric, and the level is almost irrelevant. After you hit that level cap of 20 in the base game, the level is irrelevant. After you hit that level cap of 40 in this one, it's pretty irrelevant. It goes off of what your gear is based on, and it's still very gear centric. So if you're not lucky enough with the RNG and the drops, I feel like a lot of people are still going to be frustrated with this leveling system. That's just my first impression, and I'll have more to add on to that later, but that's just what it's looking like so far. If you have any other ideas or any other opinions, I'd love to hear them. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think so far. As always, like, subscribe, and if you want to check out some more just straight videos of me playing the expansion with some friends, I already have it on Twitch. You can view some of my past broadcasts from the 4 a.m. release. We were on right then. I mean, we did have to do a little update, so I think we were on right around 4:15, 4:30. But we jumped right in. I have some great footage of the new Sunbreaker subclass if you want to check that out. It's amazing. So far, I'm loving the new subclasses. They're incredible. They bring a lot of new mechanics to the game, especially the Night Stalker, where you can kind of throw out your melee ability and make all 3 of your allies, if they're kind of in a close-knit group, just toss down your melee ability and all 3 of them get cloaked. So then you can just either run through a certain area for the next 7 to 8 seconds, or you can just... I actually had this really clutch moment in that weekly strike where I was the last one standing, and as I was reviving my teammate, we both came up and I threw down my ability at the same time. I was about to die because all of the fire was focused on me, but I threw down my ability right after my teammate came up. We both cloaked and we got the heck out of there so that we could regroup and keep going to actually beat that strike. Like I said, the in-game content is a lot more challenging. It's a lot more fun. I've done the Dust Palace plenty of times over year 1, and this is the first time I jumped in for year 2. It's completely different, and that was a lot of fun, that they changed it up and that they're throwing in some new mechanics. The fun factor, I would have to give it a 10. 10 out of 10, top score. Everything that they've done to implement some more fun and some more energy into the game, it's there. Everything they've done to put in more story and more content, it's there. The quest lines are awesome. But as far as this new system, which was supposed to be the biggest change coming in the Taken King, it really just feels like the same system, almost worse. I'll have more to say on that later, but thanks again for tuning in, guys. Keep it tuned here at Dweeb Factory for all that you care about. Like, subscribe, find me on Twitch, and have a wonderful day.